I remember the 60s with mixed emotions, things that weren't so good and some things that were better. In 1960, I was in my junior year of high school. There were a lot of firsts in 1960, but I better not go into those right now. There was some good music, like the sedate theme from A Summer Place by Percy Faith. The movie was about two one-time teenage lovers that marry other people, but discover each other in later life. I don't think I ever saw it.
I couldn't sleep at all last night.
And the next year, 1961. Well, that was the year I graduated from good old Bedford High School and started my next 4-year stint at Indiana University. The counterculture of the 1960s was an anti-establishment cultural phenomenon that developed throughout much of the Western world during the 60s. The movement gained momentum as the U.S. Civil Rights Movement continued to grow, and with the expansion of the American government's extensive military intervention in Vietnam. As the 60s progressed, widespread social tensions also developed concerning other issues and tended to flow along generational lines regarding human sexuality, a woman's rights, traditional modes of authority, experimentation with psychoactive drugs, and differing interpretations of the American dream. Many key movements related to these issues were born or advanced within the culture of the 1960s. Now, not that all that was bad, but there was good things about the 60s. It was a rather good decade for movies. During the 1960s, boxing, like mostly everything else in the world, went through changing times. There was this young guy out of Louisville called Cassius Clay. Some great baseball, too. I've been describing the 1960s like I was there, and I was. I think I took a wrong turn around 1958. I became interested in jazz and big band, so I missed early rock and roll. It's amazing how much music can be your main guide as you move from younger to older. At least that's the way it was for me. I'm not sure I was ever part of the 60s. I didn't grow my hair long, I didn't have bell bottoms or fur vests, and I didn't try to look like an Indian. I wasn't drafted because by the late 60s, I was married with a son. Otherwise, I might have started to experience flower power in Vietnam. Instead of white roses, it could have been Willie Pete, white phosphorus. I was part of the preppy 60s with short hair, ties, and sweaters. I didn't join the 60s until the 70s, when I started to think all those 60s things were cool. Although I never tried to pass myself off as an Indian, I did start to feel a bit guilty about missing the Vietnam War. Figure that one out. Wait a minute. Stop. You probably think I've forgotten about the biggest thing that happened in the 60s. Well, I haven't. But that's coming up in a future episode.